Hey guys, this is Luis. This is my Bystial branded deck profile. Right now the deck is 5-2. Only lost 2 times to tier limit. So we'll get into that right now. Yeah, we got 2 copies of Ubellion. Some people don't like to draw him first. I don't mind drawing him first. That's why we run 2 of him. Search out another Bystial. Nothing wrong with drawing him. We got 2 Magna Hunt. I would run 3, but I should run 3. Probably the only reason why I lost the 2 times to the tier limits. But I like more of the fusion part of the deck than the stopping other people part. So, but you'll see the side deck. Definitely sometimes when I have 3 of these guys. And then we got 2 Sorinir. Again, you'll see in the side what's going on, but yeah, great cards. You want to have 3 or 2 of each Bystials at least in this format. If you don't, you're definitely going to get left behind. Yeah, 2 Druiswarm. The only one that I don't have an extra of in the side deck, mainly because I don't have another copy, but also I might not want to run another copy because he's the only one that doesn't really work with the deck. Doesn't add anything and doesn't mess with your spells in your deck too, like Sorinir does, but definitely still another Bystial, better than a DD Crow. Still want to have him take something out of your opponent's field with a special effect. Definitely 3 Fallen of Albazes. I would rather lose having too many than lose not having enough of him. Great card. A lot of cards in your deck, search him out, so you definitely want to have enough copies of him to search out, even if you have to search him out more than once per turn. He's the whole reason for the deck, so why not have 3 of him? I would run 4 if I could. And then for the 1-ofs, we got 1 Albion. Basically, he's just the Upstart Goblin for the deck, and then he gets what you need in the graveyard. Just adds more resources, and you can reuse him with the deck. Sometimes you'll be able to shuffle him back into the deck, and it's just an infinite Upstart Goblin. And then we have Blazing Cartesia. I used to run Ecclesia, but this is a better version of the Sister Dragon. Definitely want to see her in your hand. Special summon herself, adds herself back from the grave, and she's a tuner monster, so a lot of things that we could do with that in the future. But right now, just really the fusion effect. Then we have Travergrade Mercurier, an amazing card. He is definitely something you want to see in Banish. He just adds more fuel to the deck. Once you run him, you'll see why he's good, because you'll definitely be able to open up an extra step in your strategies if you have him able to banish him and use his effect to add. Now, for 1-ofs, these are 1-ofs, but I kind of consider them the same card. But instead of running 2 of each, I just run 1 of each, and they are technically like 2 of the same card. The reason why I like to run, separately is because you can only get the effects off once per turn. But if you have 2 of these separate cards, their effects won't enter, won't go in the other one's way. And sometimes when you normal summon him, you could still special summon her. So you'll still get both effects. It's technically the same card, but, not the same card. Now for the Despia package, we got 3 Alabar. Just as good as Albaz. And he also has that effect in the grave to special summon himself and negate effects that people always forget. And great way to bring out Masquerade, because sometimes you'll just summon him and he'll be sitting out there on the field with really nothing else to do. But to bring you an extra Masquerade. Definitely want to target him with your branded opening. And then we got 2 Tragedies. I used to run 3. I would run 3. But sometimes it would just break. And it just, it just sucks when it bricks, because the reason why I would brick is not even that it'll just be chilling in your hand. It's just like sometimes you just want to keep going with monster effects, and his effect will just not be able to be used anymore because a lot of your opening plays is using his effect. So sometimes you'll just have an extra one for no reason, and not even no reason. It's still a body, but like you would want a body that would have an effect still. So don't need three of them, but I would still run three sometimes. And then for the one that was left of the Despia package, we have Ad Libitum and Dramaturge. Um, if you don't run them, you'll realize that like sometimes you'll just be stuck adding Alabars and Despia tragedies that you can't even activate. So it's just good, like really refreshing to just have like two different targets and that do two different things. Like Dramaturge special summons himself and negates effects on the field. Ad libitum special summons, you know, either himself or the monster that was used to fusion with him. So you know, two situational cards. You know, it just gives you more to do. You know, more options. It's kind of like the Travergreen Mercurier. You know, just adding options to the deck. And now for the Edgem package, we have two Edgem chains. I would do three, but this is a 45 card deck. If it was like a 60 card deck, I would def do three, because it's, you know, why not? It's the Edgem package. It never fails. And if it does, you're just not using it right. Branded Fusion. Best card to ever be made in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! In 6 years. I only came back because of this card. This was literally the card that made me come back to the game. Was this card. Fusion summon from your deck. Like, if you're an Elemental Hero fan, I don't know why you don't play this in right now. So, branded opening. I used to have 3 of these, but, you know, you don't need 3. Sometimes you just have an extra one for no reason. Sometimes you just have 2 in the grave. Really good card. Saves your fusion monsters from being destroyed, but definitely no need to have 3. But I would run 3 if it was a 60 card deck, but, you know, only 45. Trying to be consistent. And now for the one-off branded spells, we have Branded in Red, Branded Regain, Branded Loss. Branded Loss is really good. Once you start fusion summoning, you can basically win the game at that point if this card is on the field. They can't stop you from fusion summoning. Branded in Red is really good, but you know, sometimes I'll just use Branded Banishment because Banishment can do it from both sides of the field. And sometimes Branded in Red like can get stopped, you know, with the Bystials and everything going around. So really good card. I can't take it out because, you know, it's just fusion summoning. Like, you just get an extra fusion. Sometimes you just brick and this is all that you have and you can still win the game with just this card. And then Branded Regain, just like Lost, you know, Lost, when you fusion summon, you add an Albaz or a card that mentions it. Branded Regain, whenever something is banished that's light or dark, you can return it to the deck, and it happens whether it's you or your opponent. So sometimes you could mess your opponent up with this card, and you just get to +1, which is awesome. And then I still run Branded in White. The reason why I still run Branded in White is because I'm still running Keeper of Dragon Magic, and it's just good because Keeper of Dragon Magic, you can add Polymerization, Branded in White, or Branded Fusion, or any of your other Branded Fusion spell cards. So you just keep the Branded in White because it's basically like a Miracle Fusion. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you want to have Miracle Fusion in your deck? Like, back in the day, Miracle Fusion literally broke the game, so why not have Branded Fusion in your deck? It's basically just like, and it's cool too, because like sometimes you'll Branded Fusion and that'll get stopped, and you could still, you know, Branded in White. Then we have still run the tower, never getting rid of the tower. And then it also has that extra effect where you get to special summon when a fairy monster leaves the field. Extremely, extremely useful. Like, you have no idea how useful that is. But yeah, like, I would not take this out. Sometimes you don't even need poly or any of that because you literally have this card, and then you just end up searching like Branded Opening or something, and then like, yeah, just an extent, like, just a great card, and it stays on the field too, so it's a great card. And you know, you need the Fight for Patchwork. Got the polys, got the patchwork, you know, perfect combo. Love these guys. If it was a 60 card deck, I'd have 3 of each. Great, great cards. I used to run Fusion Substitute, because I didn't have the polys. I used to have the fusion substitutes. With the fusion substitutes were good because you could return them. You could return a fusion monster to the deck to draw a card. But what they weren't good was I didn't realize is you need the monsters out on the field. But everybody knows, you know, OG poly, you can fusion from your hand. Big difference. Just keeps the combos going. Like you don't even know. So for the last one, I was just for draw power. We got the Allure of Darkness. I used to have 3 of these, but you know, it's not a 60 card deck. You don't even need one, but it's just for draw power. Like I would take it out for like any other draw power card, but sometimes it opens up stuff with Despia Tragedy and Tri-Brigade Mercurier, so you know, you just keep this in here because it's lit. And sometimes when you banish your Fallen of Valdez, you can still use it for the fusion because you have you know, your Lubellion that returns it from the banish zone, so really good card. And then Foolish Burial and Golden Sarcophagus. I still run these just because why not? You know, usually people, when they tell you to stop running these, it's because, you know, they just don't want you to have that extra resource. Literally no reason to not run these. Just keeps the game going. And then for our traps, the staples, Beast, Banishment, Retribution. I see these every game. Every game, these cards get played. Beast gets used by Lubellion every game. Retribution gets banished or sent to the grave every game. Banishment gets placed every game. Every game I see these 3 cards. This is like the backbone of the deck. And now for the extra deck, 1 Alba Lenidus. Great card. Won me the game against Tearlament. The only game I beat, I versed Tearlament 3 times. I only beat Tearlament once, and it was because of this card. It was a crazy combo. I used Quiritus. I'll get to him later, but I used Quiritus's effect. I basically, all the monsters that he had went to 0 attack, and Alba Lenidus was able to attack twice because that's how he works, and he can attack as many monsters up to the monsters of materials used for him. It was just a normal fusion, but even on his normal fusion, he'll get 2 attacks. So Despia and Quiritus left them open. All his monsters had 0, and he had already lost a lot of damage because earlier I had a Masquerade out on the field, and the Masquerade was able to chip him down. But let's get to the extra deck real quick. We got Alba Lenidus, probably the best card I have. And then we got 2 Mirror Jades. You need to summon him. If you can, summon him. You'll probably win the game. Yeah. 2 Lubellion. Some people run 1 and then run 3 Albion. I don't because I haven't been in a situation where I would want to go that route. I don't mind having 2 because sometimes you never know. You know what I mean? If you got room, why not? And then 3 Albions. Like I said, some people run 3 because they want to use his effect with Mirror Jade, but you know, that's why I run the next card I'm about to show you, which is why I'm able to keep Albion at 2 and have an extra copy of it with a different name. I use the Brygran, the Glory Dragon. You know, he from the deck, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, during the end phase, you can special summon 1 Tri-Brigade monster or Fallen of Valdez. So, you know, just adds to the extension. Then we have Titaniclad. Don't want to get rid of him. Unaffected by monster effects. Be really useful. And then 2 Masquerades, because if you summon 2 of these, your opponent has to win the game, I think, in 7 moves. So they have 7 moves to win the game. Is it 6 or 7? 6 times 2, 7. Yeah, no, 7. They have 7 moves to win the game. If you can get 2 of these up. Think about it. Still have Persekion. Sometimes I sub him out for Wallow, but he's in there. He's really good, very scary. Your opponent definitely is gonna have a bad day if you are able to bring this guy up. And then, you know, super poly targets. Even though we don't have super poly, we have Mud Dragon and Drago Stapelia. He is really useful. Used him a couple of times. If I use him, it's because I just have so much going on that I could just bring him out to make it even worse for my opponent. I'm still waiting for the day that he saves the day, but I know it's coming because look how cool he looks. Feel me? That's sick. All right. Now for the side deck real quick. My last 2 Bystials, put that in whenever I'm fighting the tiers. Try to win the game. Still probably gonna go bad, but whatever. Just gotta fight them, you know. Ash Blossom won me the game against plants. Not taking this out. Literally, like if you play the beer match and you use this, when they try to, you know, you do something, like you can read the mirror match real good, so you can use this at the perfect time if you like really read it right. And like sometimes like they'll alubar because they don't have a branded fusion, or they'll branded fusion and that's all that they have. Sometimes one of these will just literally win you the game, like not even just against the mirror, just like in general. And then Secret Sauce, Artifact Scythe. This won me a couple of games because you can literally just branded fusion with your Artifact Scythe, and then I'll show you the combo to bring it back, which is with Back to the Front. Literally did this to my opponent. He was lost in the sauce when he was like, yo, this strategy's like probably a year old. You know, that's the best time to pull it out, is a year later. Because you'll just win a bunch of free games. And then we have 2-dimensional barriers. This card hasn't won me any games. It almost did. It almost won me a game. But the opponent was just able to play through it because, you know, you just declare one type, but, you know, there's different types. Like, if you declared fusion against me, I'm done. But some decks, you know, have more than one. So this card isn't always, you know, instant win. But then we got Cosmic Cyclone for background removal. Not a lot of background removal, but that's why we got Branded Beast. And, you know, that's why all our monsters are the way they are, you know, just so we don't have to worry about background. Sometimes when we go second, once we just activate that branded fusion, the opponent pretty much knows it's game over if they haven't set up correctly, but, you know, you still want that background removal. And then we got the 2 Dark Rulers no more because, you know, this card is like an instant win. I used this card on my opponent. He literally just gave up. Like, once I activated it, he literally just gave up. It was like instant win. Like, I don't even think I was gonna win the game, but he literally saw this card and just gave up. And I wasn't gonna say like, yo, the rest of my hand is terrible, like you might still win. I just took the dub, but yeah, this card, amazing. Some people just give up. It's wild. I don't know why. And then we got Wallow. Great card. I haven't used it yet, but I heard it's a great card. And yeah, so that's the deck profile. If you guys want more stuff like this, just subscribe. Like I said, before I made this, I just wanted to test the deck out. Right now the record is 5-2. I've been to 2 locals. It's usually 4 rounds, so should have be like a total of 8, but like I said, yeah, 6-2. That's what I said, right? Yeah, 6-2, because I've been to 2 locals, 4 rounds each, 6-2. Only lost 1 time each time I went, and each time was to tier, each time. And the 1 time I beat tier isn't on my record. It was actually just a friendly match with one of my friends, and I was just able to overcome him. Yeah, that was the combo that I showed you. But I'll have a couple of practice hands. I'll probably try to do like 3 in the next video. And yeah, if you guys like, just subscribe, please. Peace. I'm out. I'll let you guys know how it goes.